Hi everybody, it's Stephanie with Planning with Peanutty, and today I'm going to show you how in my micro planner I set up my monthly and my weekly spreads. Because I'm doing this by scratch, I don't use printables or anything like that. I draw it out myself with a pen and a ruler, and I just need some dot grid paper. As you can see, I have quite a collection of micro-sized dot grid paper, but for summer I'm going to use these kind of tropical leaves. And just need a couple pages of those for the month, and then add one more for the other half of that week. All right, yeah, let's set that aside. Okay, so I'm just going to glance at the previous month. It's just kind of a reminder of how I lay it out. The first time I did it, I counted every dot on the page and did all the math so I could evenly have it fit perfectly. So these boxes are 5 dots across by 6 dots high, and then that's how I lay out that monthly grid. So I just count through, usually starting in that very bottom corner dot, and count from there up 6, and doing 5 rows of those gets the whole month to fit on these 2 tiny little micro pages. And then counting 5 dots across. And I just use a regular ballpoint pen. You could use any pen you want to. I don't get fancy with this. I find that ballpoint pen leaves a nice crisp line. I've had people ask, if these are printables, because just that ballpoint pen looks real sharp, especially with the ruler. And then I just come in and draw out that grid. I'll also share my tips that I've learned from doing this for over a year, and little shortcuts too. I think sometimes it looks weird and I have to double check that I'm doing it right, because I have been known to, draw lines out too far, have the ruler not lined up right between 2 dots, stuff like that. Kind of foolish mistakes. Then you just do it again and it just costs a page of happy notes. And then I don't draw the dot lines until the very end, because you still need those dots to count. Alright, so one of the shortcuts is with the other side, you don't have to count out the grid anymore. You can just lay it over the page you just did and then just match from there. You don't have to count the boxes. And then the thing I need to remember about doing this left side of the page is to only go 3 boxes over. Don't do the full 4 boxes over, because in your month you've only got the 7 days across, not 8 days across. So I hate to admit that I've done all 8 days across. So keep an eye on that when you're making your monthly grid. Only 3 boxes across. And then that gives you some nice note space or to decorate space on that left margin. And then sometimes I'll do letter stickers across the top of the page. But I love this Hot Pink Dates and Holidays sticker book. I use it all the time. I've bought a second one. I buy loose sheets off of buy sell trade groups. I use it all the time. So I love this black font for these months. I'm just trying to figure out the placement there for June. And then I use the tiny little black number stickers to label, to date the whole month. And I think they turn out pretty professional looking and pretty clean and nice. And then we just fill those in. Another mistake I've made is starting the month in the wrong space. So make sure you're clear on which space is Monday, where does the month start, and keep an eye out for February. I love dating to the 31st of February. So keep an eye out for how many days are actually in this month. Alright, fast forward a little bit for you there. Okay, then it's ready to decorate. So that's how I lay out the monthly grid. And then for the weekly, I find what works best for me is a horizontal layout in the micro. I've tried a daily layout, or even I think 4 days to one side of the page. But for me, the horizontal layout works best, and for me it looks a little cleaner than other options I've tried. So for the horizontal, it's 8 dots high, each box. And again, I laid this out, counted all the dots, figured it all out. That first time it took the longest, and then now I just know I don't need to figure it all out again every time. But it's 8 dots high. And then for how wide you make that horizontal box is really up to you. I like to tuck it in behind the leaves a little bit to make those leaves look like they're overlapping the page. Let me draw that grid out. And then that's one side of the weekly done. Oh, I made a little, yeah, I had a line go over in that corner, so I'm using a little correction tape and then fixing the box over it. And then just the other side of the weekly. And I do 8 boxes for the week. And then just like the mini horizontal, and I think the classic size horizontal does it as well, where you have the 8 boxes for the week. And then that last box just becomes notes or anything you want to use it for. And sometimes I just like to decorate that whole box. But I do use 8 boxes for the horizontal. And so another mistake I've made is putting the dates on all 8 boxes. So keep in mind that last box does not get a date sticker. These are all things I have to remind myself every time I decorate this planner. There we go, just 7. Perfect. And that's it. So now the monthly is ready to decorate and the weekly is ready to decorate. And I'll pop those back in. And then the divider, because I used a divider from an old mini planner, it's just got the old mini calendar on the back. So I don't want to see that. I want my micro to be nice and cute, so I'm going to glue that divider to the monthly view I just did. And I'm just using a regular glue stick here. Sometimes I've used double-sided tape, you know, whatever you want. And then that becomes nice and pretty. Don't see any rough edges. And that's it. We're ready to decorate those and get on with our week, get on with our new month. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. Please consider hitting that like button or subscribe to my channel if you want to see more micro ideas. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.